my name is Allison, I play the trombone, and today we're talking about that right there. Well, actually, no, we're talking about this right here. It's a KraftGeek music stand, but a new one? Let's talk about it. If you have visited my channel before, you've probably seen a video I did not too long ago about the KraftGeek Capsule Original music stand, and that is what's sitting right back there. I'm gonna be honest with you, I love it. I love it. My whole life I have actually been pretty annoyed about carrying music stands around for two main reasons. One, I always hated the fact that it was multiple pieces because then you always drop one, they always come apart, it's always annoying to put it together for me. And number two, it's because, you know, especially now, I read so much sheet music, I usually use an iPad when I play. It is very hard to find a wire stand that's actually strong enough to hold anything. Have you ever, like brass players out there, have you ever played from Arbans? Good luck putting that on a wire stand. So pretty much up to this point, it was either the wire stand or the Mac Daddy, Manhasset, whatever, very heavy, not very portable stands. So to have this Capsule Original was pretty amazing for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have actually been able to spend a lot of time with it since I got it. I've been able to take it on several gigs. I did a huge EDM show a few months ago. The ground was shaking, there was fire, and my iPad was on it, and you know what? It didn't fall, didn't tip over, didn't sag, didn't do anything. So suffice to say, I am pretty darn satisfied with the Capsule Original. So why are we here? What are we doing here? Well, that's because today I have to show you this. This is a brand new version of the Capsule stand, but this is the Capsule Lite. Bet you can't imagine why it's called that. So I have spent a little bit of time with this stand as well. I'm going to tell you a little bit about where and how it was used, how it compares to the original. What does that mean for you as a person who's looking for a music stand? So stick around. Okay, I am going to be very candid with you right now. I have a chart right here that I'm looking at, and it actually has a comparison of the Capsule Original and the Capsule Lite. I'm gonna just kind of read off some numbers to you just so that you have all the pertinent information that you need. Now, before I read anything, most everything I will say is about the same between the two stands. I have used both. It's almost exactly the same, but I will say that there are a couple advantages to the Lite that I kind of didn't expect, first of all, but are also kind of nice if you travel or if you're weak like me and you can't lift a gallon of milk. Let's read off what the actual differences are, I think. First difference, the weight. You might imagine that the Capsule Lite is light. So for the Capsule Original, we have a weight of 1.16 kg or 2.56 pounds. Not bad, 2.5 pounds roughly. The Capsule Lite comes in at just 0.94 kg. That is 2.2 pounds. And I will tell you that having held both of these, you can feel the difference between this and the original. And I actually went on a gig recently where I brought my original capsule, and I did suffer. I had to walk about 6+ blocks uphill, and you don't think that that weight difference is very significant. I can tell you that walking around with my gig bag that had, you know, my iPad, my mute, my mouthpieces, my page turner, and then the music stand itself, that stand adds weight. It's not a lot, but if you're walking around a whole lot though, trying to get to your gig, it really can't be. So that was something that really stuck out to me, is the weight. So again, Capsule Original has 2.56 pounds, Capsule Lite, 2.2 pounds. Not a lot, but enough if you're a gigging musician. First-hand experience. The next difference is actually incredibly interesting to me. The Capsule Original has this really cool feature where you pull open the top two prongs, you pull down the bottom two prongs, which holds the music itself, right? And then in the middle, you turn that prong and there are two clips on it, which is fantastic. And also these clips will expand horizontally. That way, if you have a book that's open, then you can actually clip both ends to where it won't fall off. This is great for people who play outside, for example, or who have a lot of pieces of music that have lots of taped sheets of paper together and what have you. That happens a lot with us classical people. One really cool difference between these two models is that the Capsule Original, when that prong is extended, it holds 2 A4 sheets, 2 of them side by side. That's the width. However, with the Capsule Lite, it actually holds 3 sheets. It added a whole sheet. What? That they didn't even need to do that. but there you go. So this is super great. I can really envision this for like a string player that is in a string quartet, maybe, that's playing like a nice indoor venue, maybe at some sort of banquet or something like that, where you have a piece of music that's, 4 or 5 sheets long and you're constantly taping everything together. This stand, the Capsule Lite, could be really good to be wide enough to hold those bigger pieces. I've definitely been there before, so I really appreciate that they put this in just in case. Why not? Another difference is that the angle of the music is a little bit different this time. With this model, the Capsule Lite, instead of the typical 30 degrees that you can bend back, you can actually bend back 40 degrees. That's a pretty good amount. I kind of like this because it could be for bigger books, thicker books especially. Could be that if you tilt backwards a little bit more, it'll distribute that weight a little bit more evenly, and it's going to prevent the book from falling forward onto you, which is incredibly annoying. I think having music on your stand and having it fall off the stand back towards you is the most, it's like when you have an earbud in and you have it yanked out, or it's like when you have a bunch of hangers for clothes that get tangled together and you try to untangle them. There's some of the most rage-inducing things that could possibly happen to you. That's how I feel about music falling forward off the stand. It's super annoying. So 40 degrees backwards to me is really nice because it makes it less likely to happen. I'm for it. Okay, so the biggest thing, I think, besides the weight, this is going to be the biggest change between the two of these music stands. I think one of the best things about this Capsule music stand, whether it's the original or the Lite, is the fact that it's one piece, as I said before. It's one thing. You grab it and it stays together, yes. But the other thing is that the assembly is also really, really quick. Really quick. Even the Capsule Original is very, very fast. You just twist the bottom, the leggies come out, you pull the stand to the desired height. There are no fasteners, there's no twisty bits, there's nothing. You just pull it to the desired height, and then with the actual music holding part, you just twist, pull, and you're ready. It's very, very, very fast. And somehow, I don't understand how this has happened. I don't know how science works, but somehow KraftGeek has managed to make that streamlined process more streamlined. How? I don't know, but it's happened somehow. The Capsule Lite has a brand new feature, which is kind of cool. The bottom of the stand is actually equipped with a kind of push button to where when you push the stand onto the floor, the legs pop out automatically. There's no twisting, there's no pulling of the legs at all. You just push it on the ground and pop, the legs come out. It's very convenient, really, really accessible for a lot of, people maybe with disabilities, a lot of people, again, who are just in a hurry, like me, people who are in a hurry, things like that. I think that it's a really cool feature. Again, it makes setup even faster if you are a person who happens to run late all the time. Don't look at me. Don't do it. It could be very useful for you. And it's just, again, another way to make things easier. So I think that's pretty cool. Everything else is exactly the same. So you press, the legs pop out, pull to the desired height, and then switch, flip, and you're ready to go. Super easy, super convenient, really nice. So if you're watching this, and if you made it this far, which, hey, thanks, probably you're interested in a new music stand. I would assume, unless you're just here to hear me talk. I doubt that. You're probably looking for another stand. And so the bottom line here, right, that we're at is this crossroads. Okay, well, there's this Capsule Original and there's this Capsule Lite. Which one should I buy? Which one's better? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have both of them. I have this one and I have this one, the light version. The truth of the matter is, honestly, I think they're both good. I actually do. I think they're both good. I think they're both good for different reasons, but I like both. Now, I'm going to tell you very personally, for me, Allison, the trombone player, the biggest factor for me, honestly, besides, of course, being one piece, that's one. Honestly, the only other big factor for me is, again, as an iPad user, I'm an iPad Pro user. That thing is heavy. Will it hold? That's honestly the biggest question I had when I got a KraftGeek music stand of any kind was, hey, will it hold? And again, the Capsule Original totally did that. I've done multiple shows. I've done, again, the EDM show with Bouncing Stage and the Fire and all that stuff with the iPad. That was like a 2-hour show. It held beautifully. The Lite, I've tested it with the iPad, and from what I can tell, it holds up pretty well. Does it sway more? Yeah. Is it a little bit wobblier? Yeah. But I'm not taking it to EDM shows. This is just, either in my home. I also did actually have a friend play with this exact stand, this Lite. She actually played it at a rock show. It was a rock show, a pretty small venue, a lot of people packed on stage. She had it with her bass guitar tabs and sheets, and it held really well. She said she loved it, and that was very recent. Said it was great. So honestly, I mean, will it hold? Probably. I'm not going to say that it's guaranteed. I would say that if you're going to go and gig with it, I would be careful. I would get a smaller iPad, maybe an iPad Air or something. I wouldn't go for the Pro, just like a light binder like my friend had. Maybe that level it will hold with no issue. I would test the iPad at home for a while first. Other factors though, like I said before, if you're gigging around and you just need something, I would honestly prefer the Lite. And genuinely, I actually switched out the two stands. When I went out for the second rehearsal for this gig I switched them. I said, I can't walk for 6 blocks with the Capsule Original. It's a little too heavy with all the other stuff that I have. If you're playing at home, like especially if you play something like guitar or ukulele, or if you're just practicing at home and you just have like a couple solos you're playing that's just maybe 3-4 sheets, get the Lite. Easy, get the Lite. The Lite is perfect for that. It's perfect for home playing and practicing and just general, pleasure playing. I think it's perfectly good for that. So if you're more casual, or again, if you know that you're just going to be, playing with a couple of sheets here and there, I would definitely say get the Lite. 100%. 100%. If you love aluminum, maybe get the original. If you like the cold, cool feel of fresh metal on your skin, yeah, maybe the original's for you. Maybe. If you really like the smooth warmth of plastic, like a nice warm plastic hug, get the Lite, I guess. If you like balancing stands on your hands for fun on one end, maybe get the Lite. I think that the original maybe is a little bit harder to balance based on this footage I have right here of me attempting to balance the two of them at once. Can you tell which one is the original and which one is the Lite? I bet you can. So if that's your kind of thing, then maybe get the Lite. Just saying, get the Lite. Biggest one. If you play outside, that's a big one. If you play outside, if you play in a jazz band that's a community band that plays in a courtyard square for some summer festival or what have you, you might want to consider getting the original instead. The original is going to be steadier against wind. Wind is a real music killer when it comes to outdoor playing. So that is one big caveat, I think, to the Lite, is that if you play outside often, then it would be worth, I think, having the original, just because, again, it's a bit sturdier against wind. Or you could get the Lite, and then you could just get a couple of sacks of sand and then just put it on the bottom, and then you won't have to worry about it. There's always solutions either way. It's really just a preference, I think, of what you want, right? So finally, this brings us down to the nitty-gritty, and of course, that's the pricing. How much is this? So the Capsule Original comes in at $99.99 USD, and the Capsule Lite comes in at $69.99 USD. If you're a little bit more budget conscious, the Capsule Lite is definitely for you. If you have a little bit more to spare, and if again you play a lot outside or somewhere you know that the stand might have a rough time, the Capsule Original might be for you. Whichever one you think is going to be for your situation, I say go for that one. If you want to purchase one of these stands, or heck, one of each of these stands right now, you can actually get 15% off your order with my code, ALLISONMARTIN. That's ALLISON Martin. 15% off. And actually, that includes, by the way, not that I need to talk about it, this actually includes all the other stuff. You've got the light, which is really great. Very, very bright, has a couple of settings. You can charge it via USB-C, which is really great. There's a clamp you can get for your phone or tablet. I won't lie, I use this clamp all the time. I've been learning bass trombone for the last several months, and I really need a tuner all the time. So having my phone clamped vertically while I play with the tuner on all the time has really helped me kind of suss out what's going on with bass trombone. So again, you can get all of that 15% off if you use my code ALLISON Martin, Allison Martin. Hooray! Well, that's all I have to say. That's all I have about the KraftGeek Capsule Lite Music Stand. If you end up buying one of these, I would love if you would leave a comment and let me know how you like it. I would really love to know, because I genuinely like these, but I always want to know if you do. So leave me a comment. If you have any questions about any of these stands, if you want me to demonstrate anything on them or show you anything about it, let me know. Leave a comment. I'd be glad to do some addendums or anything like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. If you don't like something about it, let me know in the comments. We can talk about it, because I'm always open to having discussions, especially about this kind of gear. I feel like this is something we don't always talk about a lot. Usually it's horn stuff, mouthpieces and things like that, but it's kind of fun talking about this kind of stuff too, because it's just as important, I think, when you're gigging around. So yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun. In the meantime, I guess I'm gonna go practice and maybe actually prepare a music video for next time, who knows? And in the meanwhile, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.